Right, good evening everybody. Welcome back to Virtual Pool 4 Online, and we're here for the last match of the day, or the last scheduled match for today in the 8-Ball World Championship. It's between LS3 and Spectredawn, and it's going to go ahead in about 4 minutes time. Good evening to Mark, good evening to WizKid, good evening to Chico. Now I won't be able to see the chat when I'm in this white screen because you can't read the chat then. We've had a few results today and well, the first result at the top of the page, Boots went down 11-9 to Legit Matthew, and it was a tale of all the misses, that match, especially for Steve. And Legit Matthew now plays Shibo in round 2. In fact, their match is already arranged. Just looking at that, it's arranged for a week today at 3 PM in the afternoon, and I'll be there for that. I'm looking to see who else went through. We keep going down, keep going down, keep going down. Mr. Strocum went through earlier on. Now that match, I have to say, I thought Mr. Strocum would have been the strong favourite, and Miasma put up a big fight in the end. In fact, it's just a pity we didn't stay with that match to watch it. Mr. Strocum was taken all the way to a final rack decider, and Miasma put up a fair show to get 10 racks off Mr. Strocum, and he will play Fast Eddie next. And then further down we've got, what was the other match again? Oh, that was the one. Sergaresh was playing Jover. Sergaresh was 6-2 up at one time. He did win out 11-7 in the end, and he will play a name who I've never seen before, Pater Invictus. And I think that was it for the matches today. There's another match that's set for next week as well at some time at 3 in the afternoon. So that really covers it. The main match tonight is between LS3 and Spectredawn. Now Hairpig was supposed to be joining us, at least he said he was intending to do so, so I need to keep an eye on Discord. As a matter of fact, Steve PM'd me, he was going to join us, and then when he did PM me, I said I've got an idea, and the idea was that I was going to put the two of them in and let them do it while I just worked the camera and kept my mouth shut. Then Steve bottled out, so just give me a second. Good evening to Bedhead. Did I say Cheeky Chico? Good evening anyway, and good evening to Slim. Just give me a minute. Yeah, for some strange reason, Hairpig cannot see the commentary booth. I have to drag him into the second channel that I've created. I don't know why, and I'm trying to work it out, and I still don't understand it. It's the crappiest bit of software. I mean, give me TeamSpeak any day. At least I knew my way around it. But he may well be busy chasing after kids or something. So this match could end up being very, very close. So it could. Favourite, I would say, obviously, would be Spectredawn. LS3, I think she needs to stay on track and maybe wind it in a bit. You know, it's okay well being aggressive and attacking, but Spectredawn's going to feast off any mistakes that happen along the way. Now the room should be going up. Hairpig's arrived in the lobby. I'll just have a quick tab out and see if he's in Discord, because I'll have to unmute him as well. For some reason it automatically mutes you. Right. Good evening. Oh no, I've muted it again. What the hell have I done there? Hello?
Hello.
Oh, I had myself still muted. Good evening.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, I'm now fed and I'm fully concentrated. The room is up. Let's get in straight away.
One Pocket Slim's already predicting Spectredawn will overshoot the mark of 11 by Iraq.
Yeah, he's going to win 12-7. That'll be an excellent end to the match. Right,
It'd be a
so
remarkable. Just going to the wrong match. Let's fix this. It would be a remarkable outcome.
LS3's at the bottom of the screen then, if I remember what was told before. Well, Spectredawn won the lag. Race to 11, no jump cues, alternate break.
All right. And Spec makes a ball right off the bat. And he's got a 15 ball, 7 ball issue in between him and running the rack. Let's look closer at that. The 1 or the 14, depending on which category he chooses, could be used to break that out. Looking like he's going to try it with the 14. He has a 13 ball issue as well, which I believe he can solve right here with the 11.
Good evening to Miasma.
Yep, he did that nicely. Not the luckiest of rolls. He has to make a tricky cut into the side on the 13, I believe, because he's hooked on the 14. Spec shoots fast. I got to pick up my commentary speed.
Well, I'm looking at the line that he's got in this 10, and he's covered himself in the 14 because he'd have tried the breakout there, I think, off that 14.
I agree, but he can keep the same angle by pocketing the 10.
No, he's going to go for it off the 14.
He's now got one fewer ball on the table to end up on when he plays the breakout, so he's got to get a little bit fortunate on the roll here.
Well, that'll do it.
That'll work.
Now, the 8 ball is blocked in past the 7, so he has to get in. Oh, he's going to probably leave the bedhead cut in this 8 ball. I doubt very much whether he'll try to get in the low side in the gap between the 1 and the 7. Well, look at the angle he's got in this.
It's a lot of angle on the 12.
I think he'd be taking a big risk if he tried to thin cut this and hit something.
I'm not sure where I would play from here.
A bit of a crazy shot, this.
Yeah, he's having a good think about it. It did get tricky. He almost wants to. Is he going to try to go twice across the table here? No, he's trying to leave the bedhead cut. There you go.
There you go.
Good call.
Bedhead's talking to you in the chat.
Let's take a look. Nice to hear your voice. Gotta love a good bedhead compliment.
Oh, good evening to Jose.
A more East Coast accent must have moved there. I have lived within a 100-mile radius my entire life. One Pocket Slim. I don't know what the East Coast accent is per se. Were you expecting like New York City? Because not really how we sound down here.
Well, Jose's got somebody to keep him company. Chico can speak the lingo. Good evening to Simon.
I sound just like Corey. I don't agree. Corey's got a bit of a, I don't know, like he's from the Kentucky part of Ohio kind of drawl going on. I look exactly like Corey on Virtual Pool, though. I'll tell you that. All right. Meanwhile, LS has an obvious cluster to deal with, but an obvious 10 ball to use for it. If she can get on the side rail, then she can pretty reliably open those balls up with control.
Yeah. Just got there. Just got there.
The 13 is still a plenty big target from this angle for off one rail. Did she actually accidentally carom that ball off something first? Kind of looked like she did. But the balls all still go, so I'd like to roll through with the 12 ball, play 14-13 from here.
Yeah, Chico, tell Jose that Wanwa was in earlier on today. Don't know how long he was in, but he knows the score if he doesn't. If you sent proposals and he hasn't acknowledged any of them, he'll forfeit the first round anyway.
You're from Ohio. Oh, that makes sense. No, I'm not from Ohio, but Corey is. I am from Virginia.
Well, this would be a good reply from LS3 if she can get this done. Now, the choice is whether she leaves a narrow 8 ball into the side or tries to get in behind it. She's got the angle to get back in behind it for the same pocket.
Yeah, one rail, stun around the 8 for a center table kind of position.
She
got a little low on that ball, though.
Yeah, too much draw.
Well, the nice thing about this is that the 3 blocks the path to the scratch, so she can just hit this with a nice rolling ball, confident that nothing disastrous is going to happen with the cue ball.
Just gone in.
Well, so far these players haven't disappointed us. We expected a higher standard this match, and we're seeing it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The 12 goes, and the 5 does too after the 2 is out of the way, and so this is one of those situations where there are no wrong answers for which category you want.
Well, this looks pretty good to me.
It looks pretty good. I don't really see where it's likely to go wrong.
Now, the only thing I'd be concerned about is the 7 ball, really, because you have to get on the 7 from the 5, I would assume, and you have to get good in the 5 to be able to get on the 7. That's the kind of problem there might be ahead here. Now,
the 7 can be made past the 13.
Is
so
it?
He might shoot it after the 6 here.
Yeah, it's tight. It's tight.
It is tight.
Now, see, the problem there as well is he has to be able to get out, and he's left the angle to get out, but he's got to do this tight cut first.
Yeah, and he's got to make sure, because he's going to push the 12 toward the 8, he needs to make sure he doesn't tie them up together.
Oh, he's taking the 5. That'll do it.
And he barely avoided tying up the 8 with the 12, so now he's got a nice angle to come back towards the 11.
And he doesn't want to do that, though. It's amazing how things go wrong.
Either hit it full or miss it on the other side.
Any other hit on that 11 ball, he'd have been fine.
Yeah, but thin on that side wasn't going to work.
Well, this is a good chance of a break for LS3 here.
I wouldn't be so sure this ball isn't going to go in. If he hits the right side of it, it kind of looks like it caroms in naturally off the 12.
We'll soon find out. We'll see how good a call that is. Excellent.
Pretty good, I'd say.
Superb.
Very nice from Spec.
Well, that was a glimmer of a hope there for LS3, but it was a good out for Spectredawn. This table's sloping obviously down the way these balls are gathered.
Yep. Well, I think that's the hallmark of a looser rack. Sometimes you get like a, I think it randomizes each gap between any two balls, or randomizes each ball position within a certain tolerance. And so sometimes you get a bit of a perfect storm that causes the rack to really just not open, even if you hit them square and hard. LS has chosen the stripes, so she's got a 10 and 12 that she has to deal with.
Now,
another one of those opportunities where you can get a 2-for-1. If you go into the 1 and 10, you might leave the 12 open afterwards as a bonus. You should really, because the 12, other than the 10, has a clear path to that pocket. She's got the angle where she has to go into the side rail and spin toward the 10, try to get around the 5 or hit the 5 into them. She's trusting into some luck here for how this is going to come out. Hit the 5 into them, but not really a good result.
well, the safe shot would be just push onto the pink 12. I don't think she can prevent Spectredawn from playing a shot, but I think she'd have been better to push that ball and lock up the 5. I mean, the 5's difficult to get to anyway, looking at it.
She made sure to block any easy path for it, which is pretty good. I don't know if she really had a high percentage chance to lock it in jail. And now she just needs to be sure not to free it for him, because she can't really get safe. She can just leave the problems in place.
Yeah, you've got a full week to practice, Simon. Trying to drop behind the 8. Well, that's now tied up the 5.
I don't think she really dared to hit that ball hard enough to actually get behind the 8, because you'd be kind of betting the whole game on it. Oh, Spec hasn't gotten a rail here, though.
I don't know whether that's... I mean, I suppose that she has to go for the combo, do you think? Let's have a look. I don't think even the combo's on. Well, she can get in the gap.
Clean, but then she's drawn into this ball and hoping to get position on it. I kind of prefer your idea of shooting the 3-ball combo, because then I feel like you're more likely to end up with some kind of opportunity on the 10.
Now the 5 shoot, see, she got it too thin, making the pot, but the 5 was further up the table against that 12. It might have split away to the 2 if she'd hit it thick, rather than just a thin glance.
She was never really getting much energy into those balls, though, because she was drawing into them from only a ball width away, and there's only so much speed the cue ball is going to be able to pick up from draw from in that short distance.
I think Spectre will have her locked up in a minute or two.
Yeah, so now she has to either intentionally foul or kick at this ball exceedingly softly. She's kind of hosed either way because if she fouls, he's got plenty of chances to use ball in hand to break up the cluster.
Yeah, go for the kill now.
And if she hit it hard enough, for the 5 to separate, then he didn't even have to break up the cluster. So there's very little window in between those things for her to get a good outcome. And now you'd have to assume that Spec's going to be able to run this out. Got a little flat on the 5. I might have tried to stop before rolling past the 7 instead of past it like that. But
Now, the first time in up table there, he blocked himself out on the 3 ball. He may well have been playing for one of those balls. He just left himself covered on it. So now when he plays the 5, he's got to make sure he leaves himself short to be able to play the 3, come back round behind the 2. That's what he's done. And
he's a little elevated. I guess he can basically get it level there. That's pretty good by using a little top English. Yep, and he's out of trouble.
Well, Spectre won that tactical battle. I won't be long till I'm sleeping, Jose, I can assure you, because after just having a big feed, I'm tired anyway. I usually fall asleep. So we have a break now, 2-rack gap. And of course, Spectredawn on his own break now.
He gets a ball, 2 balls. And things are in the open. The stripes are sitting a little better, but he is a little bit elevated. Well, he's not if he shoots the 11, so he's off and running again.
Well, he's only got 1 ball in the bottom half of the table, which obviously has to get that dealt with, and then all his remaining balls are up top where the 8 ball is. So
see, it's a little unfortunate that he didn't leave himself on the 9 there, because having to shoot the 14 first, now he doesn't have that ball to bridge between the 12 and the final balls down at this end of the table. He's got to make a decent positional shot. Well, from this angle, it's looking very easy to just draw back into open space for a straight-in shot on the 10 next. And then it's connect the dots. You can stop.
well, I won't be there, Jose. That's the good news for you. I'll be long gone by that time.
Spec's looking very comfortable, playing simple patterns. LS has to answer in kind if she wants to stay in the match.
It always looks easier when you get the ball in the right place each time.
Well, it is easier.
Yeah, I mean that's how much easier it looks. I mean, if you can make the comparison from earlier today to what you're watching now, it's night and day.
But LS also makes a ball, also has a pretty good layout for the stripes, I would say.
Well, I think this is a big rack already on LS3's break.
Yeah.
Got to try and find a way out here. And of course the other curious thing is all the solids are down here in the bottom end. And
They are.
so they're well out. They're well out of LS3's way. Apart from that two ball.
Because the lanes between them are a little congested. All right, LS clears a little more space around the 8 ball. That helped make things a little easier. I expect her to run out from here.
Well, I would say 11 ball. And I don't know what the angle's like. If she could just stun onto the 9, or she's dead straight. She would like to just run through and take it, but
there's room for the 9 past the 1, so I think after the 10 first, looks like. But the 9 also goes through the gap between the 2 and 15, so that's a bonus.
It's tight, but it does go. She's tried to cheat the pocket, but you can't cheat the pocket at that pace. You know, that's just too heavy.
Yeah, I'm not sure she was trying to hit it in that part of the pocket, but that's the part she got. And that definitely was a run-out opportunity. She will be kicking herself not to have capitalized on, because...
I mean, it wasn't all that difficult. There was no obstructions. It was just about getting that cue ball into the spot. And in the end, she should have probably given herself a better chance taking the 10 ball first and trying to get a better shape. Because there was room over the right side to open up that other... what was her other ball? The 15?
Yeah, but meanwhile... Spec just played a very ineffective safety, left her straight in on the 15, and gave her a shot at redemption.
You've got to get good on this 10 ball.
Ooh, it's looking fast. It's looking pacey.
Now this has to be delicate, because obviously this cue ball's coming over past the 1, but she doesn't want to let it run and go too low. Then we're in no man's land.
Yeah, just drop the 10 in dead weight.
Well,
apparently not just dead weight. Another foot would have helped.
Well, better there than not getting there at all, but at least the worst thing that can happen is she'll block the pocket, but should be out.
I think she'll make it. Oh, she didn't.
No, and she's not blocked the pocket either. This is good.
Yeah, she tried to hit it. She tried to hit it very soft. I think probably because of thoughts of blocking the pocket. And the ball just doesn't cut quite as much when you roll it soft. You need to give it a little more cut angle. Cue ball and object ball just want to cling a little bit at the lower speed.
Noticeable though, I mean, Spectredawn is probably one of few players who's put in a lot of time getting practice in this table in preparation, and at the moment it's paying off, because he's far more comfortable in what he's doing.
Yeah. Left this awkward though. See, he hit that super soft with heavy inside, but he compensates for those awkward shots and still finds the center of the pocket seemingly about as well as anyone in this game. And that said, he just
I haven't
somehow failed to find.
Haven't a clue how he did that
On the 5, and instead stunned it up into no man's land. Plays a good safety.
Well,
but sometimes the balls find a way of punishing you when you were supposed to run out and you have to settle for a safety instead.
I know what I'd be doing here. I'd be banking that towards the 4 and running for cover, but you would always leave an option of a bank for your opponent, but it's worth taking the risk. And LS3... well, she went all out. I wouldn't have done that.
Wait a minute, I got my players backwards again. I thought that was Spec running the
No,
solids.
no, that was LS3 trying to bank the 8-ball, and she punted Spectre's ball, and now Spectre's cut the 8, and he's now 5-1 in front.
Just got momentarily confused. Wow, that was a heck of a cut shot.
Well, this is already a tale about the ones that got away for LS3.
Yeah, that one got away more than once.
The glimmer of hope is a dry break. Now she has to get this. She has to get this right. Look at that line of stripes. 15, 14. What's that? 13 and 9, and then the 12.
It's a lineup, but the 12 is the only one of them that is blocked by anything else, and so.
Going for the solids.
There's not necessarily much safety there if you're solids. It's not necessarily going to slow Spec down. So the pressure is on to run out, as ever, in 8-ball. Now, if she can get into the window between the 12 and 8 to make the 1 from here, she might want to, because the 1 is sitting in kind of an awkward...
She's going to have to rethink that. Either the 3 to come back across. I don't like this 4-ball. Well, she's now into the line in the 3 where she could she'd maybe even draw into the 8. Hit the 8 hit a half ball. Like a little skim like that will do.
Yeah. All right. And so the 1 goes in both pockets. But that was always touchy, and she hit it with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, I don't know. The touch is way out in a couple of those shots. Now, the other thing is to drop this dead weight and play the 8 into the side. And she can't get to it. She can't get to it. That's an excellent shot, but apart from the fact there's no guarantee you're ever going to get on good on the 8-ball.
No guarantee, but she held the ball from going all the way across behind the wall of stripes there, so that's pretty well done.
Oh, that's a good sign. Higgins all square. Is that going to hold? No.
Nope. Nope, just too much long rail there.
I mean, for the sake of having a good match, I would like to have seen LS3 put a couple of those away, you know, just to give Spectredawn something to think of, you know, something to think about. But he's getting no pressure at the moment.
Nope. I mean, I suppose there's pressure on this run out because anytime you miss, you have to figure LS is going to have some kind of way to pocket that 8 hanging in the pocket.
Yeah.
Does he have the angle to follow off the 9 down for the 13 right here? It looks like he's got a little too much angle for that. Too much angle to do it off the 12 now. He needs to find a way to the short side of the 13. Yeah, there it is. No. 10, 9, 11 look awfully natural. Well, it does not look great for LS3. from here.
Yeah, it's a tall order. Trailing in any match, but alternate
you start to
break.
think that even if you're running out all your opportunities, LS or Spectredawn is still going to run out enough of them to stay ahead anyway.
Yeah, he's become even more strong favourite now.
And it's alternate break.
Oh well, commentators curse. It worked that time, LS3.
That's a 2-game swing right there.
I take the blame for that one.
5-2.
I'll take the blame, and I'm sure LS3 is glad that I did.
Yep. Wait, does LS3 have the same cat as Steve? Is there a conspiracy theory here?
I never noticed she got a cat for a picture. I never even noticed.
She does. She didn't used to. She does today.
And of course she's come up dry.
It is dry. It's a little congested here. The 7 will pass if the 6 was out of the way. So I do prefer the solids myself from here.
Well, if you take the 2 at some point, drop in behind the 6, get rid of the 6 and find a way back, but there's 2 balls in the way of getting back, or you could drop through and play the 7 into the side, because the 7 goes past the 8 into the side.
So he'll use the 5 to draw over toward the 7 and 8 here to get on the 6 and 3.
If he's got the angle, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Where's the 8 ball gone?
I opened it up much wider. I think he can, draw straight back for the 3. Probably stun into the 11 for the 2, or maybe stun into the gap. I know that he wanted to be so close to the 12.
Simon, have you spoken to Keith lately? Did he tell you what he did? Because if he didn't, I'll tell you.
I think he wants to come across above the side pocket. I can't call his shot before he's actually done the shot I'm trying to call. He's a quick player, this Spectredawn. Always makes it look easy by not taking any time on it.
Oh, there's Keith there. Good evening, Keith. Oh, well, Keith will tell you because he's here. He can type it. And of course, Spectredawn breaks off, gets a couple of balls in the break. Or did somebody type? Oh no, it was Simon that typed. I thought that was Keith. I just saw the name and I thought that was him in the chat. Keith said that when he's been installing other games, he's been installing DirectX again, because obviously the games will install whatever they think they need to work or something like that. He was saying, and after he's done that, if he puts VP4 on, he can get it to go full screen. And then I think after that it doesn't work again or something along those lines. So it might be a DirectX issue. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether he needs... See, the thing is, does he not need an older version of DirectX for VP4 to work properly? Because DirectX 9, I think, is VP4. It might be something like that. Yeah, he probably doesn't have DirectX 9 in the PC. That could be maybe the issue. And I'm sure that it's easy enough to find DirectX 9 kicking about somewhere. Anyway, we'll pass that message on to him, get him to dig it out and install it anyway for the hell of it, and try it then. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. While Hairpig's covering for me, I'll just send him a text. Now, it's just when he said it was DirectX, it set me thinking it might be DirectX 9.
Is that a... Oh, that's gotta sting. Spectredawn ran out like bathwater, and LS breaks dry on her opportunity to answer. First dry break of the match, as far as I recall. And that is gonna hurt. Five ball could cause some issues. Can he play position on it? Is it makeable? Yeah, looks like it is. So possibly right here, if you can find the window between the 10 and 9 after the 6. I think that's the best chance to get on the 5. Perfectly executed. I don't think he can avoid bumping the 11, which makes cue ball control tricky. He's gonna probably come kind of towards the 8 and hope to either have some kind of cut on the 4 or a side pocket for the 7. Or he might even go, well, maybe he can avoid the 11. I don't know. And he made it past, but by doing so he had to go pretty steeply forward, which leaves him a little bit nowhere on a lot of things. The 4 does have an open pocket past the 9. It looks like he's thinking about taking the thin cut on the 2 instead. Hard to hold for the 7 without letting the cue ball go like past the 10. Possibly hook you if you shoot this one. Yeah, it was awkward. Maybe trying the 4 in the distant pocket might have been the higher percentage play, but meanwhile, if it weren't for the 2 ball hanging in that pocket, LS would be looking at this as a Christmas gift. I think, yeah, she'll just need, the 8 ball has 3 short side pockets to play on. If you send your cue ball down near the 2, then, you know, if you just get past the 7, you've got the corner. If you go a little further, you've got the side. If you go a little further, you've got the corner, you know, past where the 10 is now.
I would have thought the obvious ball to get down behind the 8 is that 11 ball over the side pocket.
You could look at it that way, but from here,
I think
it's a little awkward to get any kind of exact control.
Now she needs to
angle.
She needs to get wide on this, right out, right out, right out, and keep going like that. And now she's just got to nurse it in.
She did well there, and so now it's just down to speed, whether she's shooting this in the side or in the distant corner.
This has just got to drop in and the cue ball drop through far enough.
Yeah.
Keep going. That'll do it. Well, it's now one of those in-between shots again.
It's in between, but it's not that bad in either one. I'd shoot this one in the side. But she's going corner. The fact that it's a similar angle to both, and the fact that it's not
it's over the two though. That's a hassle.
The side means that I'd prefer the side.
Yeah, it's over that too. I'd be thinking about it, but it's gone in.
She drained it. All right, maybe that's what LS needed to get back in this match. A mistake from Spec and a counter clearance from LS.
Needs a bit more assistance in that though, I think, and this might be the start of it. I think that's dry. Oh
no!
Commentator's curse.
It was when you said it. And in drops the 13. Just traffic here. The 10 ball being a problem if your stripes, or the 2 and 3 being a problem if you're solids.
And
he's the 10's gonna need a breakout.
Yeah, he's going for it now, I think. Yep. So immediately going to deal with the problem as soon as you get a chance to deal with it. I mean, it's not a great position, but it's off the rail and you can get it from both sides, so it's a lot better than what it was.
He's a little unlucky not to have ended up with a shot on the 14 or the 10 doing that, so he's got to take the tougher cut on the 11 instead.
Yeah, just overdone it. Again, getting caught out with those angles at that distance wasn't easy.
Well, the 5 is certainly a problem, and additionally, she doesn't have a great shot to open with. I guess the 6 can be cut from there. Yeah, it can. The 1's not in the way. So the 5 is the question mark, and now the 7 joins it. In trouble up there.
I think I would have run for cover there and just snookered Spectredawn.
That might have been the play. Looked like she could maybe hit the 6 and try to freeze to was it the 7 and 4 that were right there?
Well, she's got one chance to get up table if she's going to play out for the 4, for the 3, or draw back for the 2.
She's going to try to use the 2, or is it the 3?
What angle's in that 3? Let's have a look. Oh, she's dead straight. This is not great. She can try and pinch a little bit.
Straight. Yeah, I think she can just manufacture enough angle to go towards them.
That'll do. Now she can push through and come back across for the 7.
She could, or she could try to shoot it now. It's a little too much angle for her to probably consider that.
Yeah, I think that's a bit scary to be going for that. Well,
she's gonna draw back probably. Ooh, with a high ball, there might still be too much topspin when you contact this rail for the cue ball to actually come back off the rail.
She's sending it into the right side of the pocket with a bit of left just to come in the gap between that 8 and the 10 and run to the 11, somewhere like that. That looks like the shot. No, she's drawn it, but she's still on the 11, and that'll hold it.
Yeah, drawing was the right choice. I think maybe she only had her cue up at the top of the ball for sighting purposes. I don't think she ever actually intended to follow that ball.
Oh, this is important. Important she got it done.
She's sending a clear message to Spectredawn that he better be nervous while he's running out, because she's going to clear up if he misses him.
I think the good thing about it is that maybe she's settled down a bit now. Now that she's been potting a few balls and getting the job done when she's had the chance that time.
It's an unfortunate scratch on the break. Although, if there's a break to do it on, it might be one where all the balls are tied up like this.
Yeah, there's too many problems to get dealt with here for Spectredawn to have a strong chance of running this table.
Yeah, there are 4 different problem areas. The 6 and 14, the 3 and the 9, the cluster around the 8, and the cluster around the pocket with the 2 ball. Hard to imagine solving them all with ball in hand. I'm not sure.
He could drop through for the 1. I think I don't know whether he has. And I think he maybe wanted to leave that shorter than the 1 to try and actually run into the 8 and the 4.
He's playing the 3-9-2 combo.
Right.
And if he hits it hard enough, the 9 could come off the 2 and open up the 5. Which it didn't quite do, but it wasn't because he didn't hit it hard enough. He hit the 2 overly thin.
Yeah.
This is far from solved. Now that 3-ball combo in the corner looks lined up for any time LS chooses to shoot it. Actually, it looks like if she hits it carelessly, the 11 could go into the long rail first and not actually drop. She'd have to line it up right to where the 5 will cut the 11 somewhat. She only really wants to play it if she figures out a plan for running all the way out.
Now, to pot that, I'll get my line better than that. She has to cut the 10 that way. Yep, that's what she's doing. So that the 5
cut the 5 toward the short rail. Or no, sorry, the 5 toward the long rail. There we go. She got it.
Now, where's the escape route here, though? Because the 40...
I think maybe leaving it there. She had an angle to pop the 9 and try to go into the 8 and 13. I think maybe trying that first would have been the way to go, because she freed Spec's 5-ball.
Now, why not just split the 9 and the 10 and just try and cover that 3 and cover the 6, or do that?
Yep.
That works. That'll do it.
Yep. It's a good way to play it, and she left the 10 and the 9 in places where she could really plausibly use them to break out other balls. Beck was careful to make a good hit without moving anything around very much there.
Now, if she touched that 10 ball and brought it back into line with the 6, that would have covered the 6. She could have gone to the short rail on the bottom by the 9 and 10. Or was that Spectredawn that played? I'm losing track as well here. Yeah, it's LS3 at the table now.
Yes, it's LS3 now. So you were talking about Spec's previous safety option, and now he chose a...
Yeah, I was thinking that was LS3.
Yeah.
Well, I think Spectre fancies squeezing this 3 in just off the edge of that 10.
Well, he certainly doesn't have to on this shot. He's got the 6 in the side, and he's got things he could do. I don't see how he's gonna solve the 9 and the 4 per se, or the 1 and the 4 per se. Now I do. He's gonna shoot the 1 in the corner.
That'll break the 4.
Break the 4 out.
Now, I think he's having another look at this 3 ball. He's just double checking to make sure he's happy that it squeezes past the 10. Because he's playing the 6. Obviously, he can play the 4 after it, but I think he might be more keen to get rid of the 3.
He might go 4 and then 3 in the side. 6, 4, 3 in the side. Or if he wants to power it up a little, he can come down below the 3 and have a choice of wide open pockets up table for it. The nice thing about any shot on the 3 is that he's bound to have a pretty easy path to getting good on the 8.
Well, I'm not so convinced looking at this 4 ball, because he's he's a bit straight and he's going to have to put pace into this to get this cue ball moving. Whatever way he chooses to go, he's back looking at this 3 ball, because again I still think it squeezes in past. There you go.
Wow. That's a confident shot. I can't see personally trying to squeeze that into a partial pocket from that angle rather than using the 4 to get better on it.
I now hold for the 8 to run through. He needs to keep going. That'll do.
He needed to avoid the just wrong kiss on the 13 that he almost got again, like he did that other rack. Longer than I normally see Spec pause to line up a cut angle.
He's probably on his bong.
In the 9-ball challenge rooms, he cuts that in, and before the cue ball even stops rolling. That's what it seems like.
Well, it's a long way back. Spectredawn's only 3 away. And now that he's clinched that rack, he's got a pretty decent looking table here with a ball and a break.
I'd prefer the solids if he had a better shot on one from here, but...
Yeah, solids, I think,
well,
would be...
he's going with the 1. Good shot. He's more confident at the table than I am at the commentary booth. That's saying something. Yeah, these look quite open.
Well, none of his balls are up near the 8 ball, so he's going to have to get to the 8 ball. That's the only slight glimmer of hope that LS3 has in this rack, because as far as that's concerned, he just needs to see the 8. He should be out.
Yeah, the 8's got 5 pockets that it's pretty realistic to get shape on it in, so he should be able to find a straightforward enough path to one of them.
Nice little angle in the 4. Gets him right out into the heart of the table onto that 7. Well, the commentator's curse might have done him again, I think, as he found a gap. Well, that is sweet. It's also painful when you're in the other end of it watching this.
LS3 says precision in the game chat. Yep, well, that's what that is. When you're playing position for ball and a half wide windows.
I wonder what Stubb would say there. I wonder what Earl would say with that shot. I think he would not be pleased.
Yep, Stubb and Earl would probably have similar reactions to that one.
Well, a little bit of a hindrance, but pretty much a gimme.
Helps that the cue ball and 8-ball are not far apart, makes it a little easier to sight the awkward elevated sighting. Oh,
well, there you go.
Enough.
Well, he should use the technique that I keep telling people about. If you're Chinese snooker, jack the cue right up, use the W key and use the shaft of the cue to line up the pot, and that way you've got a much better chance of potting it. Take my word for it, go and try it.
I use that trick, but I'm not going to lie, I don't make them all that way.
Well, if you're going to stay in the match, these have got to go. Stating the obvious. But it's an unexpected visit for LS3. I'm sure she'd given up that rack.
So after the 12, it'd be nice to draw back to almost straight on one of these balls to leave the 9.
Yeah, I'd just run through.
It's a little awkward on both of them, but yeah, she can still follow off the 13 pretty comfortably.
Now don't go square, that's the rule here. Got an angle.
She's got an angle. She can...
Now is she going to play it with confidence, or is she just going to... That'll do it. See, that's a nice little stun draw shot.
And I like to use low left and come around 2 rails after making this in the side. A lot of people don't use those rails. In real life, you see very few players going straight up and down off a side pocket shot like that, because a little accidental side and suddenly you get a really weird angle off the end rail. I prefer to use a bunch of intentional outside English and run around the rails to that ball.
Now, how about a bit of luck for LS3 in the break? Doesn't sound like it. Back
nothing down
to within 3. Any update in that score? Was it Mark that gave me the update? Give me the John Higgins update, please. It's on Quest, Channel 12 on Freeview.
So Spec has chosen the stripes. The 10 ball sitting there as a break ball is probably part of that choice, but the 11 is another question. Not sure exactly how he's going to answer that. But the solids really just didn't look like they had any answers that didn't involve, running your way to a safety. With the 2 and 5.
What's he looking at here?
In some sort of Russian gulag there. He's playing the 9. Not sure why he called that. Is he going to do something tricky to get it into that pocket?
I think he's going to hit it into the 4 and then in off the 6. I don't
went after the thin edge of the pocket, but
I think mainly he was looking to get his ball in control of that corner there, because certainly to call it as a pot was a bit of a tall order, and he hasn't blocked the pocket. He's only blocked the 4.
LS is playing a called safety.
Yeah, just trying to gain the initiative.
Block. Okay.
And, well, I don't know whether Spectredawn's got a good enough angle to... No, I don't think he could slam that 11 into the side and draw back, nudge his 9, try and nudge the 6 in if he was really going to be aggressive.
He could.
But he's just decided to get rid of it.
Enough to reclaim closest ball to the pocket rights there and put the onus on LS to figure out a solution for the 4, knowing that if she does, she still doesn't necessarily have one for the 2 and 5. See, now this 3-ball combo on the 11, 4, 9 is workable enough that he may go for the big breakout off the 10 here to see if he can open up a run-out opportunity.
Yeah, I don't think he's got any other choice. I think he's got to make the move.
Problem might be that he's going to hit the 14 too full,
and it just just bank the 14. It won't hit the 2 and the 5.
Right.
Yeah. Which is another reason why he probably,
because he didn't go after it.
Yeah, that's why he thought better of it. $6-5 to Higgins. I might see the end of it yet before I go to bed. Is it first to 9 or first to 10? I think it's the first to 9, is it?
LS opens up the pocket there. I don't know if she thought that the 4 would stay more in front of the pocket. It looks like it's pretty open now.
Well, the double kiss has killed the 8.
The double kiss killed him a little bit because the 14 was always something he could play on. He may try to draw into the 8 again off the 10 here. Yep. But now the 14 is tougher to play on. 2 really rolled into the position zone a little bit there. And he doesn't have a shot, so that's probably the more pressing issue.
Back over to the 14 off this 11.
Well, he'll be leaving her on the 4 if he just leaves his cue ball over there.
Did you guys see that there? Did you see that he called the ball in the pocket and it never went to the top view? That was weird. That's the first time I've ever seen that. When Spectredawn was calling the ball in the pocket there, we just had the normal view of the table from where I had the camera. It didn't automatically go to the top down view, which normally the spectator sees like that.
He managed to hide her from this 4 ball. She's going to try to carom it in off the 2. I don't think that was a real full-blooded attempt at a pot. But now if he plays the 11 past the 1, how big a window does he really have to be able to sneak past the 5 to pocket the 14? Looks pretty small, like he has to kind of freeze on the end rail, or on the side rail above the 8.
That's where he needs to be in that line to get the pot on that 14.
Right, and the only part of that line he can really hit off the 11 is just drawing over to the side rail just above the 8. So he's opted for the bank instead. I gotta say, got a little fortunate there to leave the 14 right in front of the 4.
Yeah.
Well, she's off and running, and the 4 is definitely her only problem. I wonder... The short side looks pretty short for that ball.
Now, if she... Let me have a look at that 3 again. I'm looking to see whether she can actually stun the 3 in. and send the cue ball this way, sort of like that, so that she can pot the 2 and run the cue ball that way.
I think it might have been a little... Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because that was one good opportunity to give herself at least 2 chances of getting on either the 2 or the 5.
I think she's trying a similar path under the 4 off the 2 here. Oh no, she tried for the breakout instead.
The angle wasn't really there for it. Now what's this like? This is too straight as well. She's going to have to... If she puts too much inside in this, it ain't going to work, because it won't get... she's trying it. Let's have a look. No, it's never going to do.
It's always going short again. To lengthen it up towards that ball, she almost needed check side off the first rail.
Well, here's a delicate shot. How about running right down into the very short side of the 4?
I think that's what she has to try. Oh, she...
How's that?
And this time finally got it.
That will do. That's excellent.
She even has a nice little angle for the 8.
Cobra's calling safety. Was that for the previous shots?
Oh, man.
Well, that's a nice little bit of running there. Getting a nice little kiss. And, well, provided she rolls this in, back to within 2, and then things can change. That's the beauty of alternate break.
Yep.
Bad break, ball in the break, you never know what might happen.
It will be Spectredawn's break next, and earlier in the match his breaks were resulting in balls pocketed and excellent run-out opportunities.
Well, he's got a ball.
Got a ball again. I'm pretty convinced that Steve's latest adjustment made the 8-ball break on this table more productive. Cobra was telling me he didn't see much of a difference earlier, but I don't know. From what I've been watching today, it's been looking a lot more consistent.
Well, there's a little bit of pressure on Spectredawn here to get this rack done, because the balls are all sitting favourable, pretty much, especially now that he's chosen the solids.
A little bit of a narrow pocket for the 3, but he's right next to it. Handles it fine. So the question is when to come back up for the 6.
Now you see,
I think the answer is while the 2 is still on the table, because that's your high percentage position play.
well, that 6 ball was also partially a guard ball, although the pocket was... There was half a pocket there for LS3 if she ever gets to the table for that 10 ball. She's now opened up that pocket, and he has to deliver this time.
I honestly don't think he's given a thought yet to what will happen if he misses this run out. I think he's only thinking about how to make sure he converts it.
He's looking to see if the 4 goes, which it does, past the 5, or the 3, whatever it is.
So I think maybe he's thinking about playing the 1 and 2 in whichever order and leaving the 5 for a key ball. But I don't like that. Well, he's certainly what he's going to do from here. I don't like it because if you get a little bit of an awkward angle on the 5, it becomes... He's really got to get quite close to straight on the 5 for this to be good. I guess he did it well enough.
Yeah.
But sometimes those side pocket angles,
Break and run.
going from straight to a little bit of a moderate angle will just rule out positional options more thoroughly than it does when you're playing for a corner pocket a lot of the time.
Break and run for Spectre, dry break for LS3, I think.
Yep. Yeah, I would say she has not had the better end of the break luck here.
Steve was talking about on the stream the other night about how everybody breaks on the top ball in 8 ball in VP4. And he said he never does that in real pool.
Yeah, he was saying that. He was saying that you end up with a more tactical rack playing the second ball break. Because if you break with the head ball, then the rack splits too wide open, and if you don't run out, you're dead in the water. I think if you don't run out, you're dead in the water is something that is very, very often true against a good player in 8 ball, regardless of which of those breaks you try.
Yeah, and it's even more so in VP4 as this tournament goes on. You don't take your chance, you know, you're pretty much going to be dead and buried each rack.
Yeah, the opportunity cost of not turning your breaks into runouts will grind you down to nothing. That's nicely done. Moved the 13 toward the pocket and stayed in the window on the 11.
Well,
he got thin on the 13 here, and I don't think he can hold for the 12 the way he would want to.
Yeah,
so he's going to shoot the 12 first.
Yeah, he's thin on it, but I mean, all he needs to do is just cut this in and then, you know, dead weight pace to drop the 8 into the side, game over.
Yep. Does have to be quite dead weight from here. If he runs past his position, there's no corner pocket past the 7 for him to fall back on.
Oh,
so he uses twice up and down instead. There's a 2 ball there.
Now he's in between. He's over the 1. He's still playing the cut though.
From here, I might be shooting this in the corner myself because I find it hard to sight it in the side sometimes.
Well, he's on the hill.
But he made it look very easy.
1 away, and with the break.
Spec with the second ball break, which is, you know, supposedly the safe one, but look at this layout.
So I think that was that 2 strikes that went down?
It was. But he might go with the solids anyway. Well. He's got the 7 ball is a problem for the stripes because it's in the way of the 10, which is shooting the 10 in that corner is what looks like the easy way to take care of the 9. So he does opt for the solids, and now the 3 ball becomes kind of the problem.
Yeah, because he's gone too far for the 6. That's what he was playing for there.
Yeah, and even if he was on the 6, it wouldn't... Oh, he's going to play the combo, I think.
Yeah, because again, the opportunities to get good on this 3 some other time in the rack are maybe not great, so he's done the right thing.
If I could make that shot, I might have considered it myself. But unfortunately,
that was the right move at the right time. Hadn't, you know, taken that risk of the combo, because he's trying to get the job done here, and as long as he doesn't hook himself.
yep. I agree. Now the 4 is where he wants to be on the 8, but I don't think he's gonna leave it there, because the idea that he would get straight on it going some other path was a little far-fetched. Just soft draw into the 9 off this 2, I believe, to hold for the 1. Went with a firmer stun instead. Did not work great.
Well, another lifeline, albeit a slim one, because that's a problem there. Just got to get up far enough to make the cut, and she's good.
She's good. Now, if she uses a little draw here, she can bump the 15 toward the side or up toward where it's a good shot in the far corner. Instead, she...
See, I would have hit that firm, because I wouldn't have wanted to just push it, you know, to an awkward position on a knuckle in the centre pocket or something like that.
Yeah, slamming it like that, she didn't necessarily know where it was going to stop. But
yeah, took a risk. But then again, last chance saloon situation. Sometimes you just got to let it go and see what happens.
And it very much worked. Specs had a couple of these runouts that have just stalled out on a positional play at the last moment. Or that last one, he rattled a ball. It wasn't really a positional play, but...
Ball in the break this time.
Yep, sorely needed.
And
with the opponent on the hill.
They're all on apart from the 14 and the 1. They're just slightly awkward, whatever the choice is going to be, but you get in the bottom rail, the 1 goes. But it's unlikely you want to be thinking about that.
Well, but the 6 is then also a problem if you're the solids.
Yep. This is a bit of a dilemma. It's a big make your mind up time. I don't like either of them, just by where the 1 is. And obviously because the 10's a blocker.
Well, from the short side, I do think the 14 can be made. She's about to play a combo off the 15.
This has got to go to the rail first, I think, and just go round the angle and chip that in.
She's going to get the breakout at the same time.
Yeah, just going to the rail.
The 14 didn't stay in the open though. She knocked into those balls with plenty of speed, but they
little stun to
managed to stay tangled.
Stun to break the 14. That's a nice one. Has it opened it up far enough? Yes, it has.
If she's good on it, well, she's got to play it now, I guess. She doesn't really have another shot. So it's a little tricky.
Yeah, this is the major stepping stone to running this rack is finding a way on this 15.
Well, she picked it clean. And
it'd have been nice if she just glanced it there. It would have been on into the left side pocket.
Yep. Yeah, she could have used a little kiss on the 15.
Well, it's all out for the side pocket, I think.
Yep. Maybe draw into the 7 in order to stay roughly in that vicinity for the 12.
Yeah, she can't let this run up table. That's the problem, because you're going to be somewhere behind the 5 in the top end of the table, which is no good.
Yeah, if she runs up there and hits the 4, she's going to need a pretty lucky roll to end up good on the 12. So she did hit the 7 instead.
Tough ask.
But maybe all those concerns were just enough to make it hard to find the cut angle. It was always a tricky cut in the side anyway. One Pocket Slim is pointing out that his 12-7 prediction is looking just as likely as it ever did.
Well, the fat lady's gargling at the moment. She's not singing yet.
Doing her warm-ups.
Yeah, you called 12-7, even though it's a race to 11, Slim. So I'm interested to see how that outcome's going to come about.
It's gonna be complicated. Apparently, Cheeky said 11-7, so he's got that one covered. And I'm calling 11-7 from here, so that's my brave prediction.
Well, she's now singing, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Draw back for the 2 on the side, 8 on the left side. Or is he going to stun up for the 2 on the left side? I think he's... Yeah. Well, it was a combination of two things. The brake wasn't doing LS3 many favours, and those little positional errors getting out of line, they're costly against guys like Spectredawn.
They sure are. They sure are. She just wasn't able to rein in the runouts, to rain down the runouts on Spec quite fast and furious enough.
See, this is what I thought. This is the way I thought these matches would go. The better players are going to use the bigger playing area to their advantage when the balls are split. You know, it makes it easier for them to move the cue ball in and around the problems, and players like Spectre will take that advantage. This is why you have to be really careful and canny when you're playing them. Make it difficult, but above all, you've got to be potting your own balls at the same time. So unlucky to LS3. Well done to Spectredawn. And let's have a little look. The only thing I'm going to look at is to see who he's lined up to play next. And that's going to be Cheeky Chico. And Cheeky needs to get cheeky. That's my advice. And then, of course, we'll get some other matches lined up in the next days to come. The first round... sorry, not the first round. Yeah, the first round's deadline date is the 9th of November, so that's still another few days away, and then the second round matches are the 17th, so there's plenty of time for matches to be played. We've got one, what's today's date? Is this the 7th? So there's a match tomorrow night at 9 PM between Jose and Wanwa or Fan, and that is just too late for me because I've got work the next day, so good luck to the both of them. And what else have we got? I don't think there's anything else. There's another one, but that's next week between Cobra and Simon, DJ Simon. There's still some outstanding matches to be arranged. Oh, wait a minute. As I thought, Anzi and Disabler, that ended up in a forfeit in the first round. Although I think Anzi maybe must have quit because Disabler has 7 racks on the board at the time in that first round match. And I think that pretty much covers it. So I'm off to watch the snooker, guys. I don't know about Hairpig because I'm missing the final and I want to take care of that before I go to bed. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks to Hairpig for joining us. I was going to leave it to you and Steve, but Steve, as I said, he said he had work to do, and he might be in again another time. So we'll wait and see. So take care, guys. Stay safe, and I'll bid you good night, and good night to Hairpig. Thanks for joining us.